And this morning, we welcome Intel's Chief Financial Officer, Stacy Smith, joining us from the company headquarters in Santa Clara, California. Stacy, thank you so much for making time for us. Let's take a look at these numbers. Wow, profit climbing to $2.5 billion. That comes to about 43 cents a share, which way beat the street, looking for 38 cents a share. And now you're forecasting sales of close to $10 billion. Some analysts, though, Stacy, say that really they have expressed that the industry may be overheating, that shipments don't really reflect true demand. Do you think there's any truth to that?
No. What we see is strong underlying demand. We see good market take-up of our new products. So I think for our results, you have to separate it. And you know, we saw better than seasonal units, but we also saw a bit of an uptick in pricing based on the strength of our product cycle. And when we look at inventory levels, our own inventory levels and the inventory levels out through the supply chain, what we see is that inventory levels look to be healthy and appropriate relative to how we see demand. So we're not seeing that overstoking that you spoke about.
Yeah, Stacy, you talked about products. You've been left out. Intel has been left out of the iPad craze. I know you make the chips for use in the MacBook space, but have you been surprised by the popularity of this device and people saying this is the next revolution in computing?
Well, you know, so our results in Q1 were really the strength of the notebook market, and I think that was, you know, partially driven by the strength of the products we're bringing into that market. The way I view tablets is similar to the way I view netbooks. I think that for a certain computing model, it's going to be a very interesting device. I think you're going to see lots of innovation in that form factor. You're going to see lots of products coming out that we're very excited about that have Intel inside, and I think will deliver a very, very compelling computing experience with lots of performance and sleek form factors. It's likely to be an incremental device, just like netbooks were, though. You know, it's likely to drive some incremental demand, and it's an area that we're pretty excited about.
Okay, let me ask you about partnerships, because recently we had AMD partnering up with Taiwan's Acer in the server space. What do you think of this pairing? And you know, would you look at maybe a partnership of your own?
Well, you know, we work in deep collaboration across just about every player in the PC industry. So I'm not sure how you're using the word partnership, but you know, we work closely across the industry to bring great solutions to the marketplace. I think that's particularly true in the server market. For our business, we saw the server market accelerating pretty rapidly when we got into the second half of last year. It was really the strength of the new products we were bringing to the market. And what we saw was that those products, because of their energy efficiency and the performance of those products, were delivering a really compelling return on investment for chief information officers. So in conjunction with our customers, of which Acer is a key customer, we brought some great solutions to market and saw the market results because of that.
Okay, Stacy, I really want to take the opportunity, though, to ask you about the great debate, the currency debate for the Chinese RMB. Now, Intel does a lot of business in China, but how do you feel about the yuan? Does a stronger yuan, and if the yuan appreciate, really helps your bottom line, Intel's bottom line?
Well, in general, for our results, what we would want to see is improving worldwide economic results. There's, you know, as economies improve, our results also improve. And so, you know, I think that the currency debate is an element of that. But the real key is that for equilibrium to develop across the different regions, such that we see some sustained economic growth. You know, we were in the depths of a very deep recession a year ago. I think we've seen good recovery out of that. I think China has been a key element of that recovery, and you know, our hope is that China, from an economic standpoint, continues to grow, because that's a big driver of our business.
Stacy, I'll give you 30 seconds here, but some are saying that the undervalued currency, the yuan, is hurting the U.S. economic recovery. Do you think it's undervalued?
You know, I'm not an economist. I can say that we're certainly not seeing that in our business results. We see China as being one of the key drivers. We're also seeing strength in the mature markets. So definitely, you know, in our results in terms of being the leading technology company, we're not seeing any kind of headwind in terms of market growth as a result of some of the currency debates that are going on.
Stacy, thanks for your time. Stacy Smith of Intel.